Hey everyone, Kevin here with Tavolo di Brumana. On today's episode, we're going to be making Yemeni bread, also known as Bint al Sahn, which means daughter of the plate, or more colloquially could be translated to beauty of the plate. And as you can see, it's a very beautiful dish. It's quite impressive. It's classified as a bread, but it's got these wonderful layers, and it's coated with honey and Nigella seeds, which give it a pungent herbaceous flavor. It's almost like a toasted onion flavor to it. I've never had anything quite like it until I made this recipe. So this bread comes from Feast, Food of the Islamic World by Anissa Halou. If you have the cookbook, this can be found on page 18. If you don't, go online, find a similar recipe, and use that. Writing a cookbook takes a lot of work, a lot of effort, and I don't feel comfortable sharing her recipe with you, but I will share the link to buy her cookbook down below. I'm not an affiliate. I get nothing from that link. I just feel it's a really great cookbook to have if you're interested in Arabic food or in Islamic food. Okay, you're going to mix all of your dry ingredients together in a bowl, make a well in the center, throw in your butter and your eggs, bring it together with your hands. Knead the ingredients together until they form a rough ball, and then tip your bowl over on it and let it rise for about 15 to 20 minutes. After it's had its first rise, go ahead and knead it for another 3 minutes and then separate it into 8 balls. And then you're going to let those rest on a floured surface covered with a light damp towel. After they've rested, you're going to roll those out into about 10 to 11 inch circles. So the recipe that I'm using and those that you'll find online say to use a round pan in the about 13 inch size. I don't have that. I used a standard baking sheet. I'm sure that affected how it baked a little bit, but until I get a round pan that size, this is going to have to do. In between each layer, you're going to spread melted butter, except for the very top layer, you're going to do an egg wash and then coat it with Nigella seeds. Bake it in the oven until the top is golden brown. I baked 3 different versions of this loaf across 3 days, and the third and final version I enjoy. It's still not perfect. These layers that are here should be much more thin than they are, and it should be a little crispier. What I did with this one is I let my dough rest for a long time. So I doubled every instance of her instructions for letting it rest. So the last rest when it's in the balls, I let it rest for about an hour. And it still came out a little too elastic. I may also have worked the gluten too much. Although this is a sweet bread, it's served in the middle of the meal rather than the end. And there's a sort of ritual that goes with it. In the Middle East, honey was viewed as wealth and as status. And so you would pour the honey on top of this with a larger portion towards your guest in an act of hospitality so that they don't feel uncomfortable asking for more. They're able to take as little or as much as they want. Now, on the reverse side of that, as a guest, you're supposed to be gracious and stop your host from pouring too much honey. Even if you're just pretending, you're kind of expected to say, no, too much, don't, stop, no, please, stop. I will never say that with honey. When I was pouring it, a friend of mine said, that's too much honey. And I said, no, it's not. It's a big loaf, and I want honey. Now, typically, you would not cut it as I have cut it, but you would rather serve it whole in the middle of the table, and you and your guests just rip off chunks of it and mesh in that honey and get nice and messy, and into the mouth it goes. I'm not that kind of person. I had to cut it, I need a slice, and then I eat it just like a little pizza. It's pretty good. I know you get to see me chew. This is not going to be the last time that I make Bint al Sahn, or Yemeni bread, or daughter of the plate, however you want to call it. I'm going to be practicing, and you will definitely see it more on my Instagram. I'd like to wish a very happy birthday to my niece Aaliyah. Today is her birthday, and she has been my #1 fan. In fact, her mom sent me this video.
Hey everyone, I hope you liked, subscribed, and turn on those post notifications. I want to give a really huge shout out to my uncle, and I want to say keep up the good work, turn on those post notifications. It's Tavoyo D. Brumana. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you all for watching. Next week, we're going to be making chocolate spice balls, which are a traditional Sicilian Christmas cookie. Don't they sound delicious? Have a great week, guys.